Hey now, what is up, guys? Sorry it's been entirely way too long. I know probably anyone who watches these videos but isn't on our Discord channel probably thought I completely dropped off the face of the earth, but I don't know. The past couple years have been so um, exhausting for everybody that I'm not immune to that, and I don't know. I haven't felt inspired to talk about much positive. I'm not saying I've been completely negative, but it's just been hard to find inspiration um, to make these videos that motivate myself as much as anyone else that watches them. Um, but regardless, I am eternally grateful still to anybody who clicks on this video and is like, "Oh man, hell yeah, I was wondering when you make a new video," or anybody that we've still been chatting away on the Discord. I'm super grateful for all of you. I'm super grateful for um, our friends down in Atlanta. I just actually met them in person. I was driving through and needed a place to break up the drive from Florida, and they were very accommodating and had my son and I spend the night, and it was very lovely to meet them. And um, I hope we get to see each other again and spend an even longer time and not just a night. Um, but I'm motivated today. Well, one thing that motivated me was like, oh, you know what? This is a perfect sign to make a video and upload it later because I've been meaning to get back into it. As it is, I don't know if there's a term for it, but I call it Buckeye Bud Day. And so, at least in the Midwest, let me turn the camera. At least in the Midwest, this is the day that the Buckeye buds come out. So I was in the same woodlot, like on Friday, and all the buds looked like that. And this is the day because of soil temperature and sun exposure and strength, UV strength, I guess, that the Buckeye buds all pop. And that is like the last. There's no more winter coming. There is no more snow, ice, maybe a little light frost, but for the most part, all of that is done. Whatever the calendar says, I don't care. This is what the earth decides is the first day of spring. By the time I leave today, all of the Buckeyes will look like that. So when you walk into the woods on this day, and it all happens in one day, I'm telling you, I've been working out in the woods for over a decade now, and other than like little microclimate pockets, pretty much across the board in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, the Buckeye Range, and this climate zone or whatever. In one day, they go from they go from these big fat swollen buds to popping out like that guy to starting to be fully leafed out like that guy. And by the end of the day, all of them will look like this one. And I don't know, it's just very interesting. It's one of the things of working outside that makes me really feel connected to the earth, because it's part of the season changing that I've been really tuned into for a while. And I just know, like, it's the end of all the seasonal affective disorder, and people start having cookouts again, and all the things that we should be grateful for, of nice weather. But also I'm grateful of that seasonality and the change. I don't know if I could live in a place that doesn't have any seasons, but as I get older, I hate the winters more and more. But that brings me to the main topic. So another thing that was inspiring me to make a video is I recently turned 40. And it's kind of funny, all the well-wishing I've had. Everyone's like, oh, this is when it starts to go downhill, and now you're an old man, and all this stuff. And that is true if you look at, expected age range of American males or whatever. It is downhill. But, I think that time is all relative. And I still feel like I'm growing, you know, and I don't think you really start getting old. I don't think you really start dying until you stop growing. And so turning 40 only, you know, yeah, I've got more aches and pains than I did when I turned 30. I've got more responsibility than when I turned 30. But I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying to, you know, grow my connections, meet people, form stronger friendships and relationships, and make, you know, connections, personal and business wise, and everything. And you know, I think as long as you have that mindset, like, you're always just moving forward, you're always pushing through. You know, because I don't feel like I'm 40. Physically, maybe I do, but I mean, I you know, mentally, I feel like I'm 18. You know, and I think that's a good thing, where people might look at that as being immature, but I think it's healthy. So, you know, it's been a little more introspective birthday season for me than others, just because that milestone, big 40 number. But I'm also, you know, just looking at, like, let alone what my age is and the amount of years I've been alive. Just trying to look at this, like, chapter, this phase that I'm entering, more than, you know, an age range. I'm really, you know, hoping to use my 40s to put into action a lot of the ideas I had in my 30s, and to grow that way, just grow through action instead of ideas as much. But other than that, I just plan on keeping on, you know. I am, there's a lot of changes coming up in my life. I just accepted a new position. It's in my company, but it's not going to be dealing with trees. It's a little different, and so I'm kind of worried about that. I was kind of going back and forth on whether I should take it or not, and I kind of had a little synchronicity moment where so my father recently passed away right before my birthday, actually. Which is another weird thing, because he was 40 when I was born, and I just turned 40, and he died before I turned 40. And I don't know why that little information is kind of weird and puts my own life into perspective compared to his. But regardless, and I'll probably make more videos about his passing as I'm still processing it, honestly. But anyway, the night I accepted the position, you know, there's a pretty big pro and con list for taking it. And I was just going all over it, and I immediately felt like I made the wrong decision. And I was debating, I was up, you know, way too late, you know, thinking I should send an email saying, like, I've actually changed my mind. I want to just deal with, you know, my old position and just kind of work through the travel it'll involve and all this stuff, you know. And just went to bed very frustrated. I was, you know, I had yelled at my wife and, you know, just taking it out on kids and wife. And it was a challenging night of, you know, really standing at a pivotal moment in my life and career. And I got to sleep, and at some point during the night, I woke up with like knowing I had dreamed, but I couldn't remember the dream, you know. And as I sat there to try to remember, I don't know if, like, my phone had rang and that's what woke me up, or like I got a notification or something like that. But as I started to remember, I was like, oh my God, no, I had this dream that my dad left me a voicemail saying, you know, don't worry about, you know, congrats on the job, you should take it. Don't worry about the unknown. You know, just go with what you're meant to be doing, kind of thing. Like I said, I don't remember the exact words, but I had this message that I got a voicemail from my father, who had, you know, recently passed away, and it was so real, and the message I just understood, even though I didn't know what the words were, but it was so real that I got up to grab my phone, and I was actually afraid to look at it and see that there was a voicemail from the grave. Like, that's how real this message was that I received in my dream state or whatever. And obviously there wasn't a voicemail. And I kind of laughed it off and went back to sleep. However, when I woke up in the morning, I had 100% confidence that I was making the right decision, and I was excited about the new opportunity. I was excited about change and learning something new and gaining expertise and in different areas, and just making myself a more well-rounded utility worker, tree worker. And so, you know, I kind of was thinking about it the next day, and I was sitting at a stoplight, and I was like, you know, that's pretty cool how the subconscious works, that it made me, you know, have this experience to comfort myself, to tell myself what I know my dad's advice would have been, and to have it in my mind come from my father, that I believe it more and I'm willing to trust it. You know, so basically just telling myself it's all in my head, right? And after I come to that agreement with myself, I look in the rearview mirror, and the person driving in the car behind me looks exactly like my dad. Like, so much so that, like, I got freaked out again, the same feeling I had when I was, like, gonna look at my phone and see a text message from the beyond, or a voicemail from the beyond. And I mean, this guy must have thought I was a weirdo. I was just staring at him, and like when he drove by me, I was still staring at him and whatever. But I don't know, man. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be like, you know, when you're dead, you're dead. There's nothing more or whatever. But I totally, in those moments, felt my dad's presence from the afterlife. I don't know. Maybe not in a conscious way, but that, like, our spirit's always around, and it was very comforting, very spooky. But I kind of feel like, you know, that just like our ancient ancestors, you know, give us direction, whether it's through, you know, spirit animals, or, you know, DMT entities, or whatever, you know, we've talked about with ancestral information, the Akashic records, all of that stuff. I think the recently passed over, or, you know, passed on spirits give us guidance, and perhaps even a little stronger guidance, you know. Like, I really feel like seeing that guy in my rearview mirror was like my dad saying, no, that was me. You need to be grateful that you got this job opportunity. It's what you're supposed to be doing, and it's going to be good, you know. And even if all that is still in my head, well, it's comforting, and it's good advice that I'm telling myself subconsciously through these events that I'm trying to put an externality on, you know. But anyway, thought that might be a interesting little story to tell you guys on this beautiful first day of spring. I'm hopefully going to keep uploading videos. Like I said, I feel the rebirth of not just this spring, but you know, a spring in more than just this season. Like, you know, in going forward after everything everybody's been through the past couple of years. I'm hoping to make more videos and be more inspired lately. I've also talked to Stan, and we've been talking about starting the podcast back up. So we will probably rebrand it and maybe take a little bit different direction to feel more comfortable, you know, talking a more broad range of topics and personal stories and all of that stuff. But, you know, stay tuned on the Discord for that. And other than that, I hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, super grateful for all of you, for all of this. And yeah, till next time, stay weird. Thanks for helping find the others.